What's up gamers, Jim here, and it's been a long time since I made a discussion video. I used to make these quite often months ago and I love doing them. The discussion video is about why a PC gamer could be interested in Stadia. I'm going to be speaking from a lot of personal PC gaming experience and experiences I've witnessed in my years of gaming. Few quick things you may want to know about me is that I grew up with the PlayStation 1 and I've bought every single PlayStation console since then, but I've always considered myself as a PC gamer since the Windows XP era because I realized that I played mostly on PC since then. Especially when I got my first broadband, that just changed my gaming life to another level. My PlayStation consoles ended up becoming my secondary platforms, and I would play on it only for the exclusives or games like Grand Theft Auto where the PC version wasn't released yet, which brings me to my next point. Grand Theft Auto series has always been released on consoles before PC. PC versions usually on average took over a year to release. Grand Theft Auto 5 took 1.5 years after the console version was released. Even Red Dead Redemption 2 took a year to launch on PC, and some PC gamers thought it was never coming to PC because Red Dead Redemption 1 never launched on PC. So a large number of PC gamers, and I'm not talking about percentage of PC gamers, I'm just saying a large number of PC gamers ended up purchasing a gaming console, either Xbox or PlayStation, just to play the latest Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption series. For me, this was never the case because I've always had a latest PlayStation, so I would just end up purchasing the game on PlayStation. The funny thing is, I was never worried that a PC version wouldn't be released to the PC. It was just that I never wanted to wait 6 months or longer for a PC version. I always ended up repurchasing the latest GTA on PC, but I did wait for the sales. I know, I'm part of the problem. I ended up having 3 versions of GTA 5. So, what does this have to do with Stadia? Well, we already know that a large number of PC gamers would rather just purchase a console just to play the latest GTA or Red Dead. The problem here is that they are willing to spend over £200 for a console just to play a game that they don't want to wait for a PC version, or are worried if a PC version would even exist. Once the next Grand Theft Auto game gets announced by Rockstar, for this example's sake, let's just call it GTA 6. We can assume that GTA 6 will be no different in terms of how Rockstar will launch the game. We can expect that GTA 6 will come to consoles first and then be completely silent about the PC version until about a year later, and then we get to see the PC version. There's 2 questions that need to be answered and only time will tell. Will Stadia even get GTA 6? Personally, I don't see why not, but obviously we need Rockstar or Take-Two to announce something like that. The next question is an important one. If GTA 6 is coming to Stadia, are we getting it on the same day as consoles, or is the Stadia version also delayed alongside with the PC version? This right here is very important because the answer to this question is going to affect Stadia in a big way. Whether you like Grand Theft Auto or not, you can't deny that GTA is very popular and always breaking sales records every time it's launched. If Stadia gets GTA 6 alongside with consoles, then that is a great win for Stadia. As I mentioned at the start of this video, PlayStation was my secondary platform while PC was my primary platform. There is absolutely nothing wrong with Stadia being your secondary platform. In fact, it works really well whether it's primary or secondary. If Stadia gets GTA 6 alongside with consoles, then PC gamers have the option to not spend between £300 and £500 for a next generation console and the game itself. They have the option to just spend about £50 for the game itself on Stadia and nothing more. They can just enjoy the game at 1080p 60 frames per second without a monthly subscription. Right there and then, the PC gamer has saved a lot of money just to play a game. The best part is, they can play it on their PC. they might end up liking Stadia and will keep Stadia in mind in the future. Perhaps they might even like it so much that they would start to switch to Stadia, becoming their primary platform. Stadia works very well as a primary or secondary platform. This was just one example of how a PC gamer could be interested in Stadia. Another example is a more obvious one, and we will probably see this by the end of the year when Cyberpunk launches on Stadia, if there isn't another delay. There's going to be a lot of PC gamers who don't have enough specs to run Cyberpunk smoothly. It's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of complaints on Steam forums that the game is unoptimized because they expected it to run on their potato PC. This happens every time there's a big PC game launching. Well, Stadia is here, and Stadia can be their secondary platform for this case scenario. They can simply just purchase Cyberpunk on Stadia and not pay monthly subscriptions if they want to play at 1080p 60 frames per second. After trying out Cyberpunk on Stadia, they will realize that Stadia is not as bad as they expected it to be and might end up sticking with the platform. Or maybe they enjoyed Stadia but they just want to continue sticking with PC but come to Stadia just for Cyberpunk or any other future titles where you need great PC specs to run the game smoothly. Eventually, they might just purchase Cyberpunk again on PC when it's on sale, and when they have upgraded their PC. But we'll always keep in mind that Stadia is always an option for them, and also there's a chance that the next time someone talks negative about Stadia, they might actually defend it and correct the expectations for everyone else who hasn't tried Stadia yet, and share their personal experience with it. So, this next section of this video is related to more personal questions I've been asked from time to time. I have a i7 processor of 4 GHz with 8 threads and 4 cores. I also have an NVIDIA 1080. I use a 1440p monitor with 144Hz refresh rate. I play most of my PC games at 1440p 144 frames per second, usually from medium to high settings. When I tell people my specs, the follow-up question is, why are you on Stadia if your PC specs are better? My answer to that is, I don't care that my PC specs are better than Stadia, at the moment at least. Eventually, Stadia will upgrade its hardware over time and will be better than my PC, and I will be saving a lot of money because I'm not upgrading my PC anymore. I usually upgrade my PC every year. There's always at least one component on my PC that I upgrade every year and just spend a lot of money on upgrading. Since the launch of Stadia last year, I've not upgraded my PC once because I just didn't have the need to. But that's not even my main reason on why Stadia is my primary platform. That's just a secondary reason, or a bonus if you will. My main reason is because unlike every other cloud service, such as xCloud, GeForce Now and PlayStation Now, those cloud services are just services. You're playing a dedicated hardware remotely. Stadia is so much more than that. It is from the ground up the first cloud platform. We will get unique Stadia games and features that can only be achieved with a cloud platform. As a game designer and a gamer, nothing interests me more than being part of the next generation of gaming. We've already seen features like Stream Connect and State Share, and then we're going to see Crowdplay and Crowd Choice, and then Google Assistant assisting you with your games in the future. It's going to be amazing, and most of the features can't be done on consoles or PC. I can't wait to start seeing those first-party Stadia exclusives where they really take the advantage of the cloud platform. There was a demo last year for Stadia before it launched where they showed us a concept game where you can have one player playing an adventure game in a forest while another player playing a strategy game. The best part was that both their gameplays were completely different. It was pretty much an entire different genre. The insane part was that even though the gameplay was different, it was set in the same game world and their actions interacted with each other. The player that was playing a strategy game was viewing the game world from above and just spawning things into the forest, while the other player was playing the adventure game in third person perspective and was able to see what the other player was spawning into their forest and interacting with it. If that was confusing, I'll make it more simple. You had two players who were playing two different genres. One was an adventure game and the other was a strategy game. But these two players were playing in the same game world and their actions were able to be interacted with each other. Another great thing I love about Stadia is that it is extremely convenient, and I can also play on my TV and my mobile with the Razer Kishi whenever I feel like it. When I play a game on PC, before I even buy the game or launch it, the first thing I do is visit PC Gaming Wiki, because there's always going to be a problem with PC games, especially if it's a new game. I always visit PC Gaming Wiki first before purchasing a PC game, because PC Gaming Wiki is an absolutely amazing website. It's basically showing you any problems you may expect in the game you're looking for, and most of the time will give you a workaround solution until the developers may or may not fix the problem. This is so common in PC gaming that we actually have a damn gaming wiki just for this. I find that hilarious. Once I'm happy with the problems to expect and willing to do the workarounds, then I just simply purchase the game, wait for it to download, and then install it, and then install some of the community made fixes or workarounds, and then just launch the game. Once I'm in the game, that's when I start using mouse sensitivity conversion websites to show me which sensitivity level I should go for my preference with other games. Then I go into graphic settings and make sure I turn on borderless mode, make sure I turn off VSync and motion blur and depth of field, make sure the FOV is the way I want it. All of this effort, and I still haven't actually gotten to the point of me playing the game yet. Guess what I do with Stadia? I click to play. I really hate that Stadia Connect. But seriously, I just buy the game and play. It's really that simple, and oh my god, it's so convenient for a PC gamer. And the best part is, I continue to play it on my PC. I don't have to play on my TV or mobile phone or switch to HDMI channel just to play a game. It's right there as a Chrome tab. It's absolutely mental. The convenience of Stadia is insane. I can run Stadia games as if it were a PC game. My PC doesn't start to cry when I launch Stadia games because it's just a stream. I'm not running the game natively. My PC remains to stay cool, and I can continue to alt-tab between my applications naturally as I do with a PC game. And because I'm not running a heavy game, I can run heavy creative applications on my PC while still playing on Stadia. If I render a video and play Overwatch, my renderer software will simply crash because it ran out of VRAM. Even if it didn't crash, my Overwatch game drops from 144 frames to about 20 frames, and it's unplayable at that point anyways, so I can't play PC games when I'm rendering a video. But I can play Stadia games without problems while rendering a video. I have more reasons why I love Stadia, but I think I've said more than enough that I wanted to say for this video. Thank you for watching my video. This is Jem, and I'll see you on the next one.